Welcome to this week's Warf and Chips. Today I'm joined by Gio and Paul, and I'll be challenging their expertise as we discuss various topics, including intelligent automation at Brown & Holmes, ball screw manufacture at PGM Reball. Gio takes a detailed look at the art of precision reaming thanks to advanced engineering. And this week's Cycle Time Challenge was filmed at Ferocity in Cheltenham. And we conclude the show at Mellish Engineering, looking at how a Mideco pallet system can double component output. All coming up on today's Warf and Chips. How's it all going, Jen? I mean, we've got our move next week as well.
Yeah, just around the corner. Yeah, well, we're not moving around the corner. We're moving up the
hill,
up the yard. But, yeah, we're moving next week. So in a couple of weeks' time, the shows will be coming from a brand new studio, which we can't wait for.
I can't wait.
Summer's coming as well, so Gio's going to be getting a suntan soon.
I can't wait to get the sunglasses back on now.
Yeah.
Get out on the bike.
And the industry, any updates or anything like that? You got loads of the podcasts. They're hilarious, Paul. They are so funny.
Yeah, all going extremely well. A lot of overseas stuff at the moment as well, which is is good because we're getting around lots of factories overseas and lots of exhibitions as well. Obviously, we had the Timtos one a few weeks ago. So
and we're still travelling around all of the UK and visiting UK engineering companies, and again, lots of positiveness.
Network going well?
Extremely well. Yeah. So keep watching the network channel and seeing some of the new companies that are joining the network and some of the capabilities that they have. There's no Brexit concerns with our customers anyway.
No. Well, okay. So don't forget to tell us as well what you think about the topics we discuss throughout the whole show. You can comment either on MTDCNC or YouTube. We love to hear your thoughts, recommendations. The more interaction we have, the better. So first up, Brown & Holmes Intelligent Automation. Let's head to Tamworth.
Automation Solutions, and I'm here at Brown & Holmes in Tamworth with Jake. Now, Jake, you look quite young. What is your role here at Brown & Holmes?
So an automation and control systems trainee.
How long have you been here?
About 2 years this month.
And are you also at university?
Yes, I'm at Stafford University doing level 4 HNC in electrical engineering.
Now, in your opinion, how important do you think automation is to the success of the UK's manufacturing industry?
I think it's very important because it gets rid of a lot of human error and everything's going that way as technology is moving on.
Now, we're here and you're actually proving out this extremely high-tech bespoke solution. Can you give us a little bit of an insight to what's going on?
So with two fifth-axis milling machines, which is the robots loading and unloading the machine, and you've got 4 drawers. The machine will send M codes with 4 different parts and running the 4 different programs, so the robots will be constantly loading and unloading the machines.
So this system is feeding 2 fifth-axis machines, and it's a family of parts, 4 different variants?
That's right, yeah.
And for what industry are the parts for?
Medical it is.
How does the robot know which component it is picking up if there are 4 different variants?
So there's 4 different trays full of parts which the user will fill, and there's a QR code etched into each drawer and it knows from that.
And what are you actually doing here today?
So we're simulating the robot collecting the part from the drawer, loading the CNC machine and then unloading the CNC machine once it gets a signal to say that it's complete.
So is this part of the proving out process?
That's right, yeah. It's important to get it working as much as possible here before we take it to site.
And the actual bespoke structure that the robot is fitted to, has this been designed here in-house from Brown & Holmes?
Yes, it's been completely designed here.
And in your opinion, how do you think this will benefit the customer apart from just unmanned running?
Well, you can leave it running 24 hours a day and it'll stop human error.
Jake, thank you very much.
No problem.
Well done to Jake there, not easy on camera. And Brown & Holmes, they're doing so well, aren't they? We're talking collaboratives, robots, vision systems, so many kind of forms of automation. It's amazing.
What I thought was good is we actually found someone that was smaller than Gio.
I knew he was making a joke there. I could see it. He was like,
But wasn't he good?
He was brilliant. I mean, It's great. We've interviewed a few apprentices over the last few months, and it just goes to show that people are still investing in apprentices. But Brown & Holmes, you don't really fully appreciate this system. I mean, we only see the robot moving from one end to the other, but the whole complete system has been designed specifically to fit into a very small footprint in between 2 5-axis machines, and it's dedicated to do 4 different variants of medical parts. And again, the medical industry in the UK, we don't really touch upon it that often, but it's booming. It's absolutely booming.
It's intelligent automation, though, isn't it? There's automation, which is one
the
thing, and then there's intelligent automation. So you're now looking at systems that, are more adaptable. I think automation loading up machines is one thing, but being able to do two machines or change different parts, it just takes automation to the next level.
Yes, and that's what we're living today, and I think that's what these companies need to be doing now to stay affordable and competitive.
And I think this is 3 or 4 times more or better than just a normal automation solution, isn't it? The very fact that you can be so flexible with it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely. I think there's someone quoted the other day, can you afford to introduce automation into your company? And I think the question should be, can you afford not to? And that is the key. I think that moving forward for the whole of the UK, I think we're still catching up, which we are. But I think it's one of the key things to our future, definitely.
Okay, so do you use automation, and can you see a benefit to intelligent automation? As I say, please tell us what you think by commenting on all of the channels, and maybe if you wanted, send a video in or something and we can feature it on another show. Right, next up, Colin's talking balls at PGM Reball.
Lyndsey, we've had enough of you taking over the studio, so what we've done, we've popped out to PGM Reball in Hinckley. They've been kind enough to build our own studio for us. So thank you very much, Anne.
That's okay.
PGM Reball, I'm thinking ball screw repairs. You're absolute masters at it.
Yes, our history is in ball screw repairs, but over the recent years we've developed into manufacturing our own miniature ball screws, and we also sell off-the-shelf ball screws as well. So
I just want to clarify, when you say miniature, what size is that?
So our own ball screws are from diameter 4 millimetres up to diameter 16 millimetres, but they're all for bespoke customer projects and generally in stainless steel rather than normal steel.
Okay. So you said other products as well, and I'm thinking, I'm getting a clue here. Call me sharp. Bosch Rexroth, if I can say it.
Yeah, we've been working with Bosch Rexroth for over a year now. We're really pleased to be associated with Bosch Rexroth. They really are the Rolls-Royce of rolled ball screws, and from an engineer's point of view, they're quite different to a ground ball screw because the ball nut is interchangeable. So it means that they can buy a ball nut from us. Normally we keep it on the shelf, and the ball nut actually sits on a mandrel, so they can wind the ball nut onto the shaft from the mandrel themselves, so it makes it really fast for them.
Okay, so essentially my machine tool has gone down, order a ball nut from you guys, I can install it myself. I could be up and running in a couple of hours.
Absolutely, yeah, if we've got it in stock. The other great thing about Bosch Rexroth is that they have a really good computer facility that we have access to. So if we don't have the size on the shelf, then we can give price and delivery within a couple of minutes because we've got access to their system. Okay. So we can keep them up and running, say within a repair, for instance, until the new one comes in. But generally, we've got quite a lot of stock on the shelf now.
Okay. So again, it's a Warf and Chips one, so it's only a couple of minutes. And sorry to curtail, because I know you guys could talk to us for hours.
We could, yes, absolutely.
But ultimately, if you're thinking ball screw manufacture, repairs, services, questions, technology, expertise, I think that sums it up quite nicely.
Absolutely, yeah. Just give us a call or drop us an email, and we'll do our best to answer quickly.
Brilliant. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we had Anne in for a Warf and Chips quite a while ago now, but it's such a big topic, isn't it, ball screws?
That's the thing for me. I mean, I was trying to think to myself, I know that ball screws are used in machine tools, but I was trying to think of other areas where a ball screw is applicable, but it's really pretty much any mechanically moving solution, isn't it? Yeah. Packaging industry, food industry, whatever it might be, can utilise a ball screw.
They're doing well, so it kind of proves that it's a
700 repair customers I picked up from their website. Wow. 700 repair customers. So there's a big market here for them for obviously repairing what they've, or as well as
fact. I'm not sure if it's true or not, and I can't even remember where I heard it from, but apparently across the world there is a shortage of ball screws and parts for mechanical moving parts and for machines.
She could have told you.
They're not making them fast enough.
No, I don't think that they are. across the world.
The linear drive motor technology, which is coming through, which we see on machine tools to make machines faster, I wonder how they compete in that area as well, and whether that is having an impact on what they do or will in the future. Because a linear drive motor is a very fast method of moving an axis. It's very accurate, and there's less wear on it as well. So certainly an interesting topic.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there you go, PGM Reball. So now we've all used reamers in the past and in the present. Even as machine tools get more and more accurate and tools get better and better, you'll never eliminate the need for reaming if you want to achieve the ultimate in precision and surface finish. So Gio visited Advanced Engineering to find out more about Cogstill's chef cut reaming.
For this week's educational feature, we have travelled to Advanced Engineering UK Limited in Birmingham to find out a little more about Cogstill chef cut reaming and what it entails. Well, here at Advanced Engineering, they use chef cut reamers to produce very accurate bores in cylinder heads and cylinder blocks, for example. Now, why would you use a chef cut reamer? Well, basically to get perfect geometry, roundness of the holes to 0.002 of an inch is very achievable. But not only the roundness and the geometry, but the straightness of the hole to a certain depth is also very important to achieve this without any deflection. The actual Cogstill chef cut reamers have got carbide pads to support the cutting edge. It's a single tip cutting point. Now, not only do they cut accurately, but they also give you a perfect surface finish. So if you were looking to achieve perfect geometry, perfect surface finish at a perfect length without any deflection, Cogstill chef cut reamers are perfect product for that application.
So Gio, you were there, what are your thoughts?
I think that Advanced Engineering as a company is one of the most advanced engineering companies that I've seen in regards to how they manufacture some of the
that's why they chose it.
Automotive components. They're really at the cutting edge of technology there, from the software to the hardware. But I was speaking to David Richardson, who's one of the directors there, and he was telling me, that the chef cut reamers is one of their main products, that they wouldn't be able to make the products that they do without them. And I think that, one thing I didn't mention in that is the intermittent cutting of the cylinder heads. So when you're going through one piece, you're reaming one hole, but then you're going through and then you're reaming the other hole. You've got the supports, the carbide supports that run down the entire length of the chef cut. Now that supports the first bore that you've gone through, which enables you then to cut the second bore and keep it rigid and stable so you don't get any deflection. I think that there's certain tools that you need for certain applications, and without them you wouldn't be able to get a stable process, and this is a great example of one of them.
What I was thinking though, with something like this, we talk about surface finish and accuracy. The machine must have an influence on that too, because you can have the greatest tool in the world, but if the machine, do you need a certain spindle taper? Does it have to be a BBT 40, or is there any requirements?
It's adaptable to any back end,
right?
So you can put it onto absolutely any back end, and they get made specific to suit the component. Basically, you just need the length of the bore and the diameter that you need to achieve.
But is there any influence? Does the machine have any bearing on it? Because if the machine's not up to the challenge,
you need a spindle that's running true, because you're only as good as your weakest link again.
Yeah.
But most machine tools now would your spindle, you'd assume, is running true.
Yeah.
Well, that's a perfect marriage, isn't it? The Mazak plus this tool.
I mean, the actual Mazak i700, I mean, there were so many beautiful features about that machine as well. It's brand new into Advanced Engineering. There was some a Renishaw app that they've got as well, that they can actually inspect the complex parts on the machine before it comes off the machine. And there's some more videos coming from.
And did you say 2 microns from top to bottom on one of those?
2 microns in roundness, I believe, but also in length, I'm not sure, Paul, actually, but I think
Very
it was
accurate.
roundness. You could achieve a 0.00 to 2 microns, which is very good. And when you're circle interpolating holes, you don't get that roundness. So, albeit machines have really progressed over the years in regard to circle interpolating bores, there's still certain bores that you can't get perfectly round.
Okay, right, we're going to have to move on. So next up, Cycle Time Challenge comes from Ferocity in Cheltenham. So you too can get your teeth into this one.
For this week's Cycle Time Challenge, we have travelled to Cheltenham to Ferocity, and I am here with Nick Furno, the founder of this great company. Now, Nick, what component have you got for us today?
So we start out with an aluminium billet, which is 2 inches thick by 115 by 160 millimetres. We then put it on our i600, holding it in a centric gripper, and machine the features around the outside, as you can see.
So five sides.
Correct.
Now, what about the second operation?
So the second operation, we flip it over, machine off the excess stock, and machine a pocket in the one end.
Right, so it's as simple as that. How long to make this component complete in 2 operations on a Mazak i600?
So this is your chance to get involved with the Cycle Time Challenge. So put your guesses in the comments box below, and we will send out, if you are the closest, we'll send you out a goodie bag, a Warf and Chips goodie bag. But not only that, but any platform that you're watching this on, put it in the comments box below, and we will include all of those at the end of the week.
It's an interesting component, isn't it? It's a nice part. It's a really nice one.
They only make nice parts at Ferocity, to be fair. I mean, they don't take on easy work. And they won Young Company of the Year not too long back in 2017, and now he's already investing into a new facility, purpose-built, 20,000 square foot, buying new machines. Real great success
story. Doing all right. Now, I can't ask you, Gio, but Paul, I can ask you, what is your guess of the Cycle Time Challenge on this one?
I would, looking at that, did he what's the material?
It's just aluminium.
It's just alloy, yeah. I mean, I'd be around about 90 minutes, I think.
90 minutes?
90 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Could be quicker, but yeah, I'd say 90.
Yeah, well, it's on a Mazak, so it's going to be quick anyway. So Paul's is 90 minutes, but this is your time to get involved and put your guesses in the comments box below, and we'll be announcing the winner next week. So we conclude this week's show at Mellish Engineering, a company that has invested, we hear that word so often, almost £1 million in the last year on various technologies, including a Midaco pallet solution. So Gio went to find out more.
We have travelled to Mellish Engineering in Walsall to investigate the benefits of mechanical pallet systems and how they can save you money. Mellish Engineering have received a return of investment on their pallet system within 12 months. This has been achieved from reducing downtime, and this is done by loading the components and the fixtures off the machine and not on the machine. The actual pallet changeover time is seconds as well. Now, this is probably a step down from investing in a twin pallet vertical machine, but it's a more affordable option. There are lots of different 0-point pallet options available in the market, and giving you that capability of setting work out of the machine and not in the machine will save you time and money, and something that you should investigate.
Gio, honest opinion, I want the pros and the cons for the twin in comparison to buying a twin pallet vertical machine. Everything.
If you bought a twin pallet machine, obviously that is the perfect scenario, really. If you've got higher volume work and you're looking to keep that spindle turning, as we always say, because obviously you'd be loading all the components on the pallet that's not being machined.
Yeah.
However, if you haven't got the budget for that, there's a massive saving to add this system onto your 3-axis machine. And with Mellish, they've actually got a return of investment on the system within 12 months. That's huge. But the productivity gains that you get from a system like this for the right type of work is phenomenal. So for a relatively small investment, the return of investment is phenomenal. It really is.
Is the integration easy though? let's say, for example, you've got a Doosan machine here and you had any brand of machine. Is it quite simple to just get them installed?
For each machine, or is it a standard?
It is exactly that.
It must be like an interface.
Yeah, I mean, Hyfore have worked with Mellish to, when they were buying the machine, they spoke to Mellish, they sat down, they planned it all out, and they made it to suit, and they even designed the bespoke fixtures and jigs that fit on the top, which weren't in this video because they were quite sensitive. But as a system goes, I think it's great.
It's a great solution. You asked for drawbacks, pros and cons. If I was to make one comment, I would probably say that it will make the machine and the whole footprint a lot bigger, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
But
Yes.
you do get more flexibility by being able to, like Gio says, load the machine whilst it's actually in operation as well.
But in the same breath, Paul, if you were to have a twin pallet machine, the actual footprint of the twin pallet would be slightly larger. larger as well.
Well, I suppose it
than
would if the
single,
pallets are as big as what you've got here.
Yeah.
Because some
so
twin
it
pallets
would,
have got 400 mil tables, whereas this looks like it's over a metre.
It's a huge, and they're utilising the full pallet as well. So they're presenting absolutely as many components they possibly can. So that if you were machining all them components on a single spindle 3-axis machine, you imagine the operator going into that machine, manually taking each component off, the time that spindle will be down. That time doesn't...
Depends how fast he is.
Well, he's got to be fast.
Yeah.
But £1 million they've invested in the last year or so.
Yeah.
What a success story.
Yeah. So Paul, what's different between it's playing on my mind. What's different to this than the Pallet Master that we've previously spoken about?
The solution's the same, although I'm sure either of those companies would argue that their product is better than the other.
Yes.
But the solution in general is, it is about loading off the machine and pallet changing into the machine.
Right, okay. And any further advancements? Is this it, or does it go further?
Well, I think the point I was trying to make with this video, really, I mean, obviously the Midaco system, is a fantastic system, and they've seen a rapid return on investment at Mellish Engineering. But to palletise any 3-axis machine, whether it be with this system or another system, there are lots of systems available in the marketplace. So just simple 0-point systems, which you can get full coverage of your machine bed, and instead of kind of loading and deloading on the machine, simply to take the pallet off and reload a preloaded pallet that you'd loaded whilst the machine was running. So the savings doing this are huge, absolutely huge, and this really illustrates that, albeit unfortunately we couldn't show the actual fixtures that fitted on the pallet due to sensitivity.
I think this is a good point to say that you should listen to our podcast, which we did on work holding and automation in general, because I know we touched then on the fact that you can do all this sort of stuff, but how frequently it's not being adopted still.
It's incredible, really, and I think that...
And the podcast is on YouTube or on iTunes and all those other...
I actually asked the question at Mellish, if you were aware of a system like this years ago, would you have invested in it? And he said it would have been on every single one of my machines. He says the output that they've achieved off this machine has just been absolutely phenomenal. If he'd have known, he'd have done it before. And
let us know if you've got a pallet system or a solution that's automated that's helped you out.
Yeah, please do, because then you too can feature on the show too. Right, okay, that's it now. Thank you for watching this week's Warf and Chips. In next week's show, we discuss 5-axis machining, and Mark heads to Ireland, and Colin checks out possibly the smallest, tiniest turn parts that you will ever see. So join us at 12:30 next week. And in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And as we always say, keep those spindles turning.